Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for post-match reaction to Dundee 0, Celtic 5 today at Tannadice. Probably won't speak a lot about the match because obviously Celtic have been crowned champions of Scotland for the 55th time. We'll probably not go on about it for fucking 6 years, but that's probably the difference. But Alistair, what a day and what a performance to wrap up the league title.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
a good.
wait a minute. I've got a wee photo I need to show you before we. There you go.
Yeah, well, that'll be a good one for the viewers to watch. You'll probably get clickbaited for it, but who cares? But I'll say this to you, Josh. It was a good day, and I was going to ask the question: when's the painter and decorator moving in?
No, well, the painter and decorator moved in the December time when we won the League Cup.
Well, it needs to be 120 now, so.
No, about
There's
1,
no
2.
point.
No. But no. Obviously 5-0. Get into the game. Obviously, I think we still had a lot to play for as well. But we just blew them away completely. To be perfectly honest with you. To be honest, I thought the first 20 minutes Dundee actually started the better of the two teams, but
Once we adjusted,
once we threw oranges onto the park, it seemed to have completely changed the game. So, and I just wanted to have a wee thing about that. Obviously, for the protesters about the ticket prices, I completely get behind that because it's a joke. Not even just Celtic fans. I think even Celtic are guilty of this as well. I just think football in general is. And it's for all fans, especially in Scottish football. It's
taken
the piss.
No, it really is. The working class guy is taking them out the ballpark. See, I dread to think, see, in 10 years, you'll have to pay. You'll have to pay a grand.
A season ticket will cost you 4 figures in a 10-year time. No, I'd even say about 5-year time. I generally think so. But no, I feel I agree with everything that was done there because it's no. I just don't like the way. I've never liked football was gone for a long time. So
and especially Tannadice. I don't know if you can tell on the telly, but Tannadice is. I like it because I like atmospheric grounds, but let's be honest, the facilities are for something out in the 1970s.
I've never been to Tannadice, so many people don't really know. But no, but in terms of obviously Celtic becoming champions, which is the main thing, other people in the media who are very jealous may find it pointless and tedious, as they call it, and I don't give a fuck what they think. To be honest with you, it's very easy to we get a lot of celebration analysis when it comes to stuff, and it's like, oh, Celtic fans are bored. I'm certainly no fucking bored. If I was bored, I wouldn't have went up and stood at Celtic Park for 4 hours.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Josh. Nobody of a Celtic persuasion, and I'm going to say this, should be bored, should take it for granted.
Nobody is.
And I'm going to tell you, see if you are bored and you leave at half time. No disrespect, fuck off.
I've not getting either. That's very elegantly put there. I fuck off. But no, I went up to Celtic Park today, but I went thousands days there. Thousands.
Yeah.
Or celebrating, you had your smoke bombs. The fuckers stink, but you had your smoke bombs, your fireworks. It's so for a fan base that doesn't care, it's not too bad. So
Rogers said that himself. He said, I believe it was at yesterday's press conference. He says the one thing I admire about our supporters is see everyone with equal equals celebration, and so you should never take these
Aye.
days for granted
I was
because they're
looking through.
special.
I was looking through Twitter, right, and I honestly, I was absolutely pissing myself. There was a fucking Partick Thistle fan, and I'm like, ah.
Hmm. What
Oh,
part of
because obviously Partick beat Falkirk last night, and the fans were all running on the park, and then he put a picture of Celtic fans barely celebrating at Tannadice, and everybody's like in the comments, you've explicitly tagged me that video, so you could have picked. There's other videos you could have picked where all the fans are bouncing, but no,
yeah?
it's such a fuck off strange agenda by every
I
other
mean,
club.
well, I'll say one thing in a Partick Thistle fan. As a guy that was there the day, it was random hug a stranger day.
I
Because
just.
everybody was going mental, and so they should.
I just find it fucking hilarious. Then you've got articles like the one we discussed the other day. It's just I find it fucking hilarious. It's
It's
how
actually sad. It's actually,
it's sad. It's just it's like the jealousy is just ripping out of people, man.
I mean,
But you
you
must be
try to
bored
tell
winning.
me that that if they were if there's 40 there's 42 clubs in Scottish football, if you include the Highland League. And let me be honest, every single one of them want to be in their position. Money in the bank, club run well, um, successful in the park. Give me a break.
Aye. And it's just it's incredible, and people would say that we're bored, but then you've got thousands of people going up to Celtic Park and celebrating. I mean, that doesn't look like a bored fan base to me. But anyway, Alistair, I don't give a fuck what they say. To be honest with you, I enjoyed my fucking day. If they think if they're bored, then that's
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. I mean the whole um, it's the most boringest treble we've ever done.
it's just
Give me
bollocks.
peace.
Well,
Every single
Haven't even done the treble yet, which I do. I've seen that in the media. The media are now getting the media are also assuming the treble's just done, and I know for a fact that Brendan Rodgers and Celtic won't be thinking like that, but the media are thinking like that, and I'm really glad that Callum McGregor and Rodgers calling out these idiots in the media. I don't need to name them, but you know what I'm talking about.
well,
Aye.
I don't know if he's seen Rogers in an interview. I seen it when I come home, and he said, he, no, I hope, see if he's ever asked about his future again next season. I'd refuse to answer the question and just say,
To be fair, I
I've
don't know.
answered the answer.
I still think I think Rodgers is always going to have that hanging over him because obviously last time, and I don't hold that against him, and I didn't even a few months after he left the first time, I never heard that against him. But I want to talk about some individual, players. Obviously, it's all team game. I'm not really wanting. I don't. We won 5-0. We're brilliant. I don't really need to see why we need to talk about the game. It's obviously
It's
times like
no
this.
about.
Aye,
I know it's a reaction video, but it's a
it's the
reaction to
reaction.
55.
Aye.
So I
Um,
never thought I'd say that, just to be honest with you.
we'll not use it. We'll not hang on to it for 6 years. I don't think so.
No, I think
Unlike
you'll find that a certain fan,
um,
what rivals his fan base will
it was quite funny as
continue
well.
with the 55 thing there.
It was quite funny because actually I seen a duck at Celtic Park today, which was I didn't
A
expect to wake
duck.
up. There was a duck with a Celtic nappy on, which was weird.
Oh,
Anyway,
I see.
we a leash on it and everything. Guy walking about with a fucking duck.
What's
Anyway,
in Duffy by any chance?
no, uh, no. Anyway,
Sorry,
but
Queen, if you're listening.
the first point I want to talk about is James Forrest
Aye,
because he's not the most fashionable player. He's no. We've talked about obviously he's not got the chant and whatever else, but I mean, to be Celtic's most decorated player when
nah,
you're
that's a
surpassing
bit.
players like Bobby Lennox, your players like McNeil. It's mental. It's unbelievable.
It really is. I mean, he can, And you know something, Josh? We could, we could in the next couple of years, if he's still there, have two more. Well, we have got two modern day greats because the facts back it up in Cal McGregor and James Forrest. And they're a dying breed of football player these days because I know McGregor's had two at that one spell we're not as counted, but effectively they're one
He's
club
been at
men.
he's been at Celtic the whole time.
Yeah,
Um, he's not went to another club permanently. Um,
yeah.
so, but James Forrest for me, I mean, you know, growing up Celtic, he's been the probably
No,
between nah, between
he's
him and
probably
Scott
the
Brown,
one guy you can remember this pretty
I
much from start to finish.
probably him and Scott Brown have been the most kind of constants when I've been growing up. But I mean, all credit to the guy, and I was
He
because I
was
was
busting for a goal the day, let me
I
tell you.
but I was obviously at there when they all came out at Celtic Park, and even if the whole team just seemed really buzzing for him and stuff, and I've got so much because as you said there, Alistair, one club men you've not seen 2 3 years time, you won't get one club men anymore. You've seen players like Thomas Muller, he's leaving Bayern this year. What I'm trying to say is dying breed, and I think people might say, "Oh, well, Forrest probably didn't have any offers." Trust me, I think he did have offers.
He did at his peak, yeah.
You go 2018, 2019 Forrest, you're not
Well,
telling me he didn't have offers.
we've said before that his best game for Celtic was the night he, we played Bayern Munich at Celtic Park. No, this year. The last time we played, they beat us 2-1, but Forrest was amazing that night. And he gave Alba an absolute roasting. So don't tell me he's no head offers.
Um, no, but people you can. I think under Ange didn't really feature as much. 'Cause I don't think Ange liked him, no personally, but I don't think I liked him as a. I don't think
No,
it
I
suited
don't
Ange.
think James Forrest at that particular stage had enough, excuse me, for enough energy for Ange, his
Aye,
team, to
but
be
to be
fair.
fair, like Rodgers come back in, and then towards the end of last season when we probably really needed him, we don't win the last year without
No, we
James
don't
Forrest.
win the league with Forrest and arguably either. We
Aye,
don't win the league with it, they two.
no, but to become Celtic, and I don't think I don't think he'll be beaten.
Well, McGregor could beat it.
McGregor maybe, but I think if McGregor doesn't beat it, nobody's beating it. I don't think.
No, no, 26 medals.
Um,
That what it is.
no, I think 26 major
Uh,
honours. Also another record that we broke was actually, was the manager basically has became Celtic's highest living
best
manager.
living manager. Just
Um,
to be clear to the Daily Mail article, that does not mean he's better than Charles Keane.
exactly.
Like you said,
No, but I think it's and so as for the manager, I think there is a split. I think when he come back, people are like, "Oh, I don't want him back. His style is boring." Don't get me wrong. There's times when I've moaned on this season when I thought
aye,
it's
aye.
a bit tedious, but I don't doubt the guy's a top manager. And I just think sometimes it can get a wee bit complacent when you're that kind of far ahead. But I think we've
It's
saw for these.
human nature, to be honest.
I think we've saw for these last 3 games, but we've scored 5 goals in 3 games, or 5 goals over the in each of
15
the league.
in 3 games, aye.
Aye, so but Brendan Rodgers is, in my eyes, Celtic's in terms of modern history, Celtic's best manager.
Well,
Um,
well, let me be clear. if he wins the treble, he's won the most trebles ever individually.
Now, I don't know. I don't know if Obviously, I didn't see Martin O'Neill, but I think I'd even go as far as saying he's a better manager than Martin O'Neill.
Different type.
But that's what I'm going to say though as well, because if you think, see, obviously Martin O'Neill, when Martin O'Neill came in at Celtic was obviously
6 million got you a lot more than it.
that's what I'm going to say. Like Brendan Rodgers has had to deal with Celtic are so far away from European. I'm not saying they were close back then, but they were a lot closer. So, for instance, 6 million got you a player in the who'd won the Premiership,
Yeah.
and his peak, probably in his peak.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to go back and check what age Big Sutton was when he signed, because I know he come through at Norwich. He went to Blackburn for a British record. He won the Premier League with them. It was Chelsea's record signing, and before they came to us. So we were buying. Can you imagine us buying a Premier League winning striker nowadays? But that would cost you.
aye,
It wouldn't
exactly,
happen. It wouldn't happen.
exactly.
Wouldn't
But
happen.
no, all credit to Brendan Rodgers. The guy is a proven winner.
Yeah.
The
And
guy.
please make my week Celtic announcement in a new deal, please.
He's a proven winner, and this is the reason we're sitting here talking about Celtic going for a ninth treble. You need to remember when Brendan Rodgers walked in the door in 2016 here, we Celtic had won 3 trebles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is,
So
I think,
it's going to be
six of the last 9.
6 in the last 9. And the other two, and 2 out of those 3 years, you've been doubles.
Exactly.
Which is mind-bogglingly good. And it doesn't get the respect it deserves, mate. It really doesn't.
No, I don't think Brendan Rodgers gets the respect he deserves. I'd even say some of our own supporters.
I mean, look at. Can I just say, look at the downturn in Leicester for Brendan Rodgers left.
Aye, it's everybody likes to sit and say, "Oh, Brendan Rodgers got Leicester," but Brendan Rodgers was a slip away from winning a Premiership
See, to
title.
be honest, I would love to ask Leicester fans. I don't know many. I don't really want to know any, to be honest. But if they genuinely think, I think Rodgers would have saved them. He would have found a way to save them. But they panicked and ended up sacking the manager. But I digress. So,
Aye.
no, fair. We've got arguably the best British manager out there at the moment. I would say his
I don't know
record
about.
stands out.
I don't know about that,
At the
but
moment, I don't mean Ferguson or
right,
Steve.
calm down. Fuck, you been drinking, man. Jesus Christ, calm
No,
down.
I just
Moving on, right? My God, man. Fucking hell. You get back beat next week, you'll be calling all the bastards next week.
yeah.
And you know that.
Probably, but that's
Um,
what happened. That's
uh,
me.
anyway, obviously, the game was kind of a whitewash. We won 5-0. Either came in with them with 2 goals, so did Nicholas Kuhn.
Can I just say my favourite goal was Nicholas Kuhn's first. The move, the pass for Engels out to Maeda, the first time ball, and the Kuhn rattles. I love a goal like that.
Aye, and it was the commentator actually said, Celtic can got him hurt you in the other end. Literally 30 seconds later, balls in the
That
back of
was
the
a
net.
good. That was a good Ian Crocker, really wasn't it? That was a good one.
But I want to talk about Adam Eder a bit because he is another player who does get it pretty tight. you know, off our own supporters. I'll just put it that way. He does, and I give him it tight a lot. I've opened, and I still think he needs to improve in a lot of stuff. I think sometimes his hold up plays a bit inconsistent, but in terms of the goals, you can't argue it. You cannot argue it.
Well, you text me saying, I think you said it was 18 or something like
18,
that.
18 goal.
That's no bad joke about a first full season. For a guy that's not really played. Let's be honest. He's, he's played in bits and starts. And, I mean,
The next big his season is going to he needs to he's going to need to hit the ground running next season. I think he's probably going
I
to
do
be.
think we'll bring in a striker.
I know, but I do think he's going to need to play probably a more leading role next year. And in fact, I don't know. I was listening to the coverage after the game in Sky, and they made a point. I don't think. I think Adam made that. I think will do a job for Celtic. I don't doubt that, but I don't think it's Brendan Rodgers' ultimate answer to the way he wants to play.
As I say about Brendan Rodgers, for Brendan Rodgers' teams to function, you need two good wingers. You need goal scoring wingers. That's clear. And see, to be honest, Brendan Rodgers uses the striker as a focal point, and I don't know if Adamid has learned that yet. He's
Aye,
getting there, but he's still got a load of potential, and he's
I know,
23, Josh. So
and it'll be interesting to see what we do in the summer because obviously it's going to be a big summer and a lot of positions. Hopefully we get into the summer with all three trophies in the cabinet.
mm,
It's going to be a whole. It's going to just be. Obviously, it's going to. I'm not going to be. It's going
going to
to
be
be a
a
bit.
manic
It's going
summer.
to be a big summer because a lot of stuff's going to probably go on the other side of the city as well. So Celtic are just going to need to go about their business in a proper fashion. We can't be complacent because there's going to be a lot happening at Rangers and stuff like that. But it's just important that
But
Celtic.
we need to sort out the noise of it,
Aye.
is what I would say.
And the only way you do that is by doing your recruitment properly and your business properly. Um, the last one about focus on, I could sit and talk about all players, but I think we'd be here next month. But the one obviously we brought him in for a heavy fee last season. I thought Arne Engels was brilliant today. I thought Arne Engels was superb. I thought it was
It was kind of all the team were good, but Engels kind of stood out today. He linked up well with Johnson. He was laying the ball up. He was moving. And let me make this clear: he's not a number 6. He's a number 8.
I don't
I
know.
don't.
I don't know how to subscribe to that shit. He's playing for Celtic. I don't. Midfielders are not like that anymore. I think midfield, especially when you're playing for Celtic, I think they're buzzing about everywhere. I think
Yeah,
that's what Engels is doing. So I don't think I know we always want to talk about your number 10s, number 8s, number 6, whatever. But I don't think. I think Engels is just going to be that one where he kind of he's roaming about, and doing. And I think that's just what he's been doing since he got here. It's another one. It's unfair. It's unfortunate that Arne Engels is the price tag that's been put on him because I think that's what people and I said this when Arne Engels joined the club. I says, don't
£11 million is nothing.
£11 million nothing, and Celtic are only going to spend £11 million on somebody who's 27, 28, and probably already well established. Celtic will look to spend £11 million on a player like Arne Engels, then sell him in 2, 3, 4 years' time
For double that.
for double that. And I just think I think not abuse, but I think the criticism is just too much at times. I don't like when players get micro focused on.
Yeah.
You know it's.
And I'm guilty of it myself. We
Oh
all
yeah, oh boy, I know.
but I think you need to be honest, and we seem to we seem to do this a lot with players. We seem to jump on bandwagons as a fan base.
Aye.
I think at times we just need to learn to chill. And
Aye.
let's be honest, it's still got to happen, but that's what it should happen. Uh,
No, I think I stand by what I said when we signed him. We'll see the best. We will. Arne Engels will be the best midfielder in Scotland at one point
aye,
because he is that good.
yeah, I
And
don't
I'm
even
sorry,
think
but
we've even seen 50% his potential.
and by the way, I'm under the influence of alcohol, so maybe, but you know, I think if people, I'm sorry, but if people don't see it in Arne Engels, you're fucking clueless. Go and watch
Mm,
fucking golf.
mm.
Serious, like honestly, I'm being serious. Like there's a player in there, and I see a lot of these we could put about oh they were trying to convince us. I don't need to convince myself as a player. I fucking seen it.
You see, well, you watch a lot of Bundesliga stuff, and you said to me, uh, let's be, I'm going to be real here. Listen, folks, when Celtic sign a player, Josh doesn't get too up and down about them. But it really was buzzing when we signed Engel. So,
And he did say something after the game, and he said, I've need to get used to the kind of mentality and stuff like that." I do think there has been a part where Engels where I think that maybe there's been a part with that whole team. It's like you need to keep going every single game. I'm not saying Engels didn't do that, but I do think no offense, but Augsburg, you don't really need to do that.
no, I
You
mean,
know,
Augsburg are probably like St. Mirren in Germany.
it's like a Motherwell suburb, something like that. And he's a young guy as well, so I don't think there's much to be panicking about. But I thought it was brilliant today. Obviously, Alistair, it's a 55th title, which leaves us joint top with Rangers and the titles in Scotland. Some people might dispute that. I'm not going to get into that discussion, but
No, no,
um,
especially under the influence that'll go.
but um, but anyway, it's a brilliant achievement for the club. Um, Achievement that's been well deserved. We've been the best team in Scotland for ages now.
13 and 14 years.
We've been the best team in Scotland for the last 20 years.
Yep,
And I thought there's I mean, I will just show you the trophies to if you want to dispute that ways.
well,
Um, I know
it's,
that I know people like to bang on about the coefficient cup, but
he
anyway,
never won it, so
I
it's,
know. But no, it's a brilliant day. And it was just obviously good to date with the performance. I'm not even going to bother getting into man of the match because I'll have a more measured reaction probably.
I know that's just a let's all celebrate kind of
Aye.
video, guys. So that's it.
Um, but
I mean,
no,
see,
brilliant day.
to be honest, see, like clinkers, mate, you're just like that. Did we win? Did we clinch it? That's all that matters.
Aye. No, but a brilliant day. But aye, 55, the real 55.
Unbroken
I
55,
broke
some
55.
people would say, aye.
Um,
Um,
but
but
but aye,
anyway, enjoy your weekend, boys, and give them hell. So that'd be good. So uh, enjoy it, but remember we've still got one bit of silver to pick up, and
aye. Well, that's the main thing. We've still got a Scottish Cup final to look for, and we've also still got the small matter of a derby at Ibrox next week to look forward to. I don't know about looking forward to. They've called me our last year results, but I mean, Alistair, we need to beat them next week. I mean, come on, fuck, man. I mean,
yeah, and also just the only the only good thing I was going to ask you that I haven't heard, and I probably shouldn't ask you this, but I hope Joe isn't it as
Jot,
bad as it was.
Jot is fucked. I think. To be honest with you, don't want to be negative, but
Well, you were down there, did
Josh
he come
fucked.
out?
He came out, but he needed help to walk up the fucking stair.
Oh dear.
Nah, he's fucked.
So that
Season's done in my thing. I'd go
so
Thursday.
the
Season's done.
priority should then be getting ready for Champions League.
I think his season could be over. Unfortunately, I'm not going to. We'll probably discuss it. Probably more news will come out because
He knew right away if he watched it. He
aye,
knew. I don't know if it. I was surprised he walked off, Josh, to be honest.
aye.
But we'll see. We're no doctors. We can't say what's wrong. But
I know.
yeah,
But if you were to ask me, I think his season's done. Personally, I think you can tell by his face that his season could be done as
yeah.
well. But Alistair, as you says, we've won the league now, but I still don't want Celtic to take their foot off the gas.
No, you don't want to kind of.
Especially next week, I want us to go to Ibrox and right some very big wrongs at Ibrox, personally.
Well, I mean, I want to win next week just to stop the 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 false narrative, and it is false.
What's false?
As
What's
as
false?
false that somehow we've been lucky and
No, I wouldn't. What I would say, the narrative that isn't false is they have been better than us in the last three derbies. I don't think we've been lucky or anything. I don't subscribe to that. Actually, it's just media ramblings again. But I really want us to later on next week because they have been better than us in the last few derbies. I mean, it's kind of speaks for itself, and I don't think they're that great a team if I'm being honest with you. So
no,
I
and I'm kind of hoping, John, that 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 we've kind of got the most to prove next week. I know that sounds daft considering
in
we've
terms of this game, we have got the most more to prove. I think if I'm being honest.
yeah, but but I still think if we turn up the way we have been the last three games, with that attitude and tempo and pace, I think to be honest, Josh, we just need to slightly tweak about the way we approach derbies at the moment. I think it's not that deep, mate. We just need to be careful
you need
careful when we lose the ball.
you need to actually look interested. That's the main thing. But anyway, Alison, we'll get into the derby chat later on. But I'm going to wrap it up there. Because we're over half an hour. I don't like
Yeah,
them.
I know.
But we're the champions. So enjoy your
Yeah,
weekend.
I will do.
Don't get too pissed. I mean, we're
Uh-huh.
recording this at 11:15, so I think if you were pissed, you'd come on this hobcut. But anyway, we'll speak to you later. We'll also be back with a build up to that derby game, and we'll probably come back with a more measured reaction to Celtic's 55th league title, and we're champions again, and that's the main thing. But until then, we'll speak to you later, and hail, hail.
Hail, hail.